Beloved, you who have been chosen by God, know this. There is no coincidence in your journey, no step that lacks purpose, and no moment that God has overlooked. You are here, seeking answers, because deep within your soul there is a longing, a desire for communion with the divine, for your prayers to reach the heart of the Almighty. You have poured your heart out to God in the quiet of the night, in moments of despair, in desperation, and hope alike. Yet there is silence. Why, you wonder? Has God not answered? Today, I invite you to walk with me through the mysteries of God's ways, to understand why the prayers of the chosen are not always answered in the way we expect. God's silence, my dear friend, is not a sign of absence, but an invitation into deeper faith, a call to draw nearer to the one who holds all things. Let us journey through 11 profound reasons why your prayers might seem unheard, and together we shall uncover the holy purpose behind this divine silence. Number 1. God desires your transformation, not just your comfort. Many approach God with prayers that cry out for immediate solutions to their struggles, relief from their pain, or quick provision in times of need. Yet, beloved, our Heavenly Father, who knows you intimately, seeks not only to alleviate your discomfort, but to transform your very soul. Romans chapter 12 verse 2 tells us, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God." This transformation often comes through trials and challenges that stretch our faith and draw us closer to Him. When you ask God for an answer and it does not come, consider this. Could it be that the waiting, the yearning, the unanswered plea is God's way of refining your character, building endurance, and teaching you to rely on His strength rather than your own? He desires for you to grow, not just in faith but in fortitude, to become a warrior in the Spirit, resilient and unwavering. Your prayer is not unanswered. It is heard, cherished, and used as a tool to shape you into the person God intended you to become. Number 2. God's timing is perfect, even when it feels late. Oh, dear soul, remember that our understanding of time is not God's. For as the psalmist writes in Psalm chapter 90 verse 4, 1,000 years in your sight are like a day that has just gone by. What seems to us as delay is in truth divine timing. When you pray, you are planting a seed in the soil of God's purpose, and just as a seed needs time to grow, so too do your prayers. The waiting period is holy. It is the season in which God aligns all things according to His perfect will. God does not withhold His response to your prayers to torment or neglect you. Rather, He is setting the stage for a greater revelation, a miracle beyond what your limited perspective can imagine. Trust in His timing, beloved, for He sees the end from the beginning, and what He has planned for you will come to pass in its appointed season. Number 3. God is protecting you from what you cannot see. There are times when the silence of God is a shield, a protection against dangers you cannot perceive. You, the chosen of God, are precious in His sight, and He places a hedge around you to guard against unseen threats. Job chapter 1 verse 10 tells us of this divine protection, where even Satan acknowledges, "Have you not put a hedge around him and his household and everything he has?" Sometimes an unanswered prayer is God's way of sheltering you from harm, redirecting you away from paths that seem appealing but lead to destruction. Perhaps what you prayed for would have led you astray, weakened your spirit, or brought about a trial for which you were unprepared. God's love is fierce and relentless, and He will guard you, even if it means withholding the answers you long for. Trust in His wisdom, for He knows the end of all things and will not lead you into harm's way. Number 4. God is testing your faith to make it unshakable. To be chosen by God is to be prepared for greater purposes, and such preparation often includes the testing of your faith. When you do not receive the answers you seek, it is an invitation to deepen your trust, to stand firm even when the ground beneath you feels unstable. James chapter 1 verses 2 to 3 reminds us, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance." In God's divine wisdom, He allows certain prayers to go unanswered, to see if you will cling to Him despite the silence. Will you worship Him even when you cannot feel His presence? Will you declare His goodness even when you do not see it manifested in your immediate situation? This is the faith that moves mountains, the faith that shakes the heavens. Through the testing of your faith, God is preparing you for victories you cannot yet see. Number 5. God seeks a relationship, not just a transaction. You, chosen one, are not merely a servant, but a beloved child of the Almighty, and He yearns for intimacy with you. Too often we treat prayer as a list of requests, a transaction where we ask and expect immediate fulfillment. But God is calling you into a deeper relationship, where prayer becomes communion, a dialogue, not merely a demand. In Revelation chapter 3 verse 20, Jesus says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in to him and eat with him, and he with me." He is inviting you to a table of fellowship, to know His heart, to seek His face, not merely His hand. The silence in response to your prayers is God drawing you closer, encouraging you to seek Him for who He is, not only for what He can give. In this holy pursuit, you will discover a love that transcends understanding, a joy that cannot be taken from you, and a peace that will guard your heart. Number 6. God's no is often a redirection towards a greater yes. When a door closes, it is easy to feel that God has abandoned your plea. But consider this: God's no is never without purpose. There are paths that seem right to us but lead to despair. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 9 reminds us, "In their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." If God has closed a door, it is because He has a better one prepared, a path that leads not just to what you desire, but to what you need. The silence or denial of your request is not rejection, it is redirection. God is guiding you toward a yes that surpasses your understanding. You, as His chosen, are called to walk by faith, trusting that each step, each no, and each not yet is a part of His perfect orchestration. Let this redirection deepen your trust, for the path God has set before you is one that leads to abundance beyond measure. Number 7. God knows the desires of your heart better than you do. Sometimes our prayers stem from desires we do not fully understand. You may pray for something with a heart full of hope, believing it to be the answer to your struggles. But God, who knows you even more intimately than you know yourself, sees beyond the surface. Psalm chapter 139 verses 1-2 declares, "You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar." This profound knowledge means that God answers not only according to your words, but according to the true desires He has placed within you. What you long for, what you seek, may not always align with God's perfect plan for your life. The unanswered prayer is God's way of aligning your heart with His, purifying your desires until they reflect His will. Surrender these desires, beloved, for God knows what will bring you lasting joy and peace, far beyond the fleeting comforts of this world. Number 8. God uses silence to build your patience and perseverance. Beloved, you who are chosen, understand that patience is not merely a virtue, but a testament to unwavering faith. When God does not answer immediately, He is not withholding His blessing. He is cultivating within you the strength to wait, the discipline to persevere, and the grace to endure. James chapter 5 verse 7 exhorts us, "Be patient, therefore, brothers and sisters, until the coming of the Lord. See how the farmer waits for the precious fruit of the earth, being patient about it until it receives the early and late rains." Just as the farmer waits for his harvest, trusting in what he cannot yet see, so too are we called to wait upon the Lord. The unanswered prayer is an invitation to patience, a reminder that we live not by our own timeline, but by God's eternal timing. Every day that passes without an answer is another day in which God is strengthening your spirit, refining your character, and preparing you for the blessings to come. Patience in prayer is a sacred act of surrender, a declaration that your faith is in Him, not in the immediacy of His response. Number 9. God's silence is a call to seek Him with all your heart. O chosen one, there is a depth of intimacy with God that can only be reached through persistence. When answers seem distant, it is not because God is ignoring you. Rather, He is calling you to seek Him more fervently, to press in closer, to desire Him above all else. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 13 promises, "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." This promise is for you. God is not content with a half-hearted devotion. He desires your whole heart, your undivided attention, and your deepest love. His silence is an invitation to pursue him passionately, to come before him, not just with requests, but with a longing for his presence. When you seek God with all your heart, your prayers shift from a mere list of desires to a communion with the divine. In this place of pure worship and surrender, you will find a peace that surpasses understanding, a joy that flows from his very presence, and the answers you seek will come as you draw nearer to him. Number 10. God prepares you to appreciate the blessing through delay. There are blessings so great, so overwhelming in their beauty, that if given too soon, we might fail to recognize their value. God, in his infinite wisdom, allows a delay so that your heart may fully appreciate what he is preparing for you. When we pray and do not receive an immediate response, it is because God wants us to understand the worth of what we are asking for. In Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 11, we read, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." Imagine, beloved, the richness of a gift given at the perfect moment, after you have waited, prayed, and yearned. The delay deepens your gratitude, strengthens your love, and makes the blessing all the more precious. This waiting period is a sacred time, a season of preparation, so that when God finally answers, you may receive his gift with open hands and a heart overflowing with praise. Number 11. God's purpose is greater than our understanding. Lastly, dear soul, remember that God's ways are higher than our ways, and his thoughts are higher than our thoughts. Isaiah chapter 55 verses 8 to 9 declare, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." There are mysteries of God's purpose that we may never fully comprehend on this side of eternity. When prayers go unanswered, when silence fills the space between our pleas and heaven's response, it is a reminder that we are dealing with the infinite, the eternal, the Creator, who sees all things from beginning to end. To be chosen by God means surrendering to his greater purpose, trusting that even in the silence, even in the unanswered prayers, he is working all things together for good. This is the holy tension of faith, to believe, to hope, and to trust even when we do not understand. Beloved, do not be discouraged by the silence. You are chosen, set apart for a holy purpose, and every unanswered prayer, every moment of waiting, is God's way of drawing you closer to himself. When you feel alone, remember that he is near. When your heart aches for a response, know that he hears. And when the silence lingers, let it become a sacred space in which your faith grows, your heart deepens, and your soul learns to rest in the one who holds all things. In these moments of divine silence, may you find strength, may you find hope, and may you find an unshakable faith that anchors your soul. Continue to seek him, continue to trust, and remember that you, beloved, are chosen. The answers may not come in the way you expect, but they will come in God's perfect timing, in his perfect way. Let us hold fast to the promise of his faithfulness, for our God is faithful beyond measure, and his love for you is everlasting. Chosen one, know this: unanswered prayers are often the fertile soil in which God grows transformation within you. The silence, the waiting, the seeming absence of response, they are not signs of neglect, but of God's intentional work in your heart and soul. Through these moments, he molds you, refines you, and transforms you from within. Romans chapter 12 verse 2 reminds us, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will." In this journey of transformation, unanswered prayers strip away the trivial, the fleeting, and the temporary desires of the world, calling you instead into a deeper, more eternal pursuit. When prayers go unanswered, your dependence on worldly assurances fades, and your reliance on God intensifies. It is in this sacred refining that you come to desire God's will above all else. This journey is painful, yes, but it is also beautiful, for God is shaping you into a vessel prepared for his glory. Each unanswered prayer, each delay, each season of silence is a part of the divine process that renews your mind, aligns your heart with God's own, and transforms you into the person he has called you to be. Embrace this journey, chosen one, for it leads to a deeper understanding of God's will and a more profound connection to his heart. Beloved, sometimes your unanswered prayers are not just about you. They are a divine invitation to intercede on behalf of others. God may delay his answer to awaken in you a compassion for those around you who suffer, to stir within you a spirit of prayer, not just for yourself, but for the world. The Apostle Paul urges us in 1 Timothy chapter 2, verses 1-2. I urge then, first of all, that petitions, prayers, intercession, and thanksgiving be made for all people, for kings and all those in authority, that we may live peaceful and quiet lives in all godliness and holiness. When God does not answer your prayers, he may be calling you to broaden your focus, to lift up not only your own needs, but also the needs of others. This is the sacred duty of those who are chosen, to carry the burdens of others before the throne of grace. Your unanswered prayers can become a powerful force of intercession, a way for you to participate in God's work of healing, comfort, and restoration in the lives of others. The heart of an intercessor is one that mirrors the compassion of Christ, who laid down his life for all. In this calling to pray for others, God is shaping you to be an instrument of his love and mercy. Chosen one, understand that there is a unique testing that comes in the silence of unanswered prayers. It is a test of faithfulness, a question posed to your soul. Will you continue to follow, continue to trust, continue to love, even when there is no answer? Will you be faithful even in the silence? Job, a man who knew suffering and silence from God, declared in Job chapter 13, verse 15, "Though he slay me, yet will I hope in him." This is the heart of faithfulness, the resolve to trust God, not because he has given you what you want, but because he is who he says he is. In seasons of silence, God is testing the strength and purity of your faith. He is asking you to remain faithful, not for what he can give, but because he alone is worthy. To be chosen by God means that your faith is precious in his sight, and he will test it, refine it, and strengthen it, so that it may be unshakable, rooted deeply in his love and his character. Faithfulness in silence is one of the highest expressions of love for God, for it reveals a heart that is fully devoted, a soul that seeks him above all else. Hold fast, chosen one, for your faithfulness is a gift to the one who loves you. Beloved, when prayers seem unanswered, remember that there is often an unseen battle taking place in the spiritual realm. The Apostle Paul reminds us in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." Sometimes the delays and obstacles you experience in prayer are the result of spiritual warfare. God has heard your prayers, but forces unseen wage war to hinder his answers. In the book of Daniel, we see how Daniel's prayers were delayed by spiritual resistance for 21 days until an angel broke through the battle. This narrative serves as a reminder that prayer is not only a conversation with God, but also a powerful weapon in spiritual warfare. In these moments, do not lose heart. Stand firm in prayer, knowing that you are engaging in a divine struggle, that your prayers have weight and impact, and that God's angels are working on your behalf. When you encounter resistance, let it be a call to press in deeper, to pray with even greater fervor, for the battle is already won in Christ. You are a warrior in God's kingdom, chosen to stand in the gap, to fight the good fight, and to see his will accomplished on earth as it is in heaven. Chosen one, God's silence may also be his way of calling you into a life of greater holiness. As you wait for answers, there is an invitation to examine your heart, to ask if there are areas of your life that need cleansing, realignment, or surrender. 1 Peter chapter 1 verses 15-16 calls us, "But just as he who called you is holy, so be holy in all you do, for it is written, 'Be holy, because I am holy.'" In seasons of unanswered prayers, God often uses the silence to draw you into a deeper sanctification, a holiness that reflects his own nature. This process of refining can reveal things hidden in your heart, habits, desires, or attitudes that need to be surrendered. The delay, then, is a mercy, allowing you time to prepare yourself for the fullness of his answer. When we come before a holy God, we are invited to be transformed, to leave behind anything that hinders us from his presence. Holiness is not a burden but a blessing, for it draws us nearer to God, allowing us to experience him in deeper and more profound ways. In the silence, chosen one, let God do his holy work in you, purifying and preparing you for the greater things he has in store. Beloved, unanswered prayers teach us the vital lesson of surrendering control. In our humanity, we often want to dictate the terms and timing of God's answers, to hold tightly to our own plans and desires. But God, in his wisdom, invites us to let go, to release our grip, and to trust that his ways are higher than ours. Proverbs chapter 3 verses 5 to 6 urges us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight." This surrender is not easy. It requires humility, a recognition that we are not in control, and that God alone holds the future. Unanswered prayers call you to release your fears, your doubts, and your desires, placing them fully in his hands. It is an act of profound trust, a declaration that you believe in his goodness and sovereignty above all else. In the letting go, you find freedom. In surrendering control, you discover peace. When you place your life and your prayers into God's hands, you can rest, knowing that he will work all things together for good. Trust him, chosen one, for he is faithful, and his plans for you are filled with hope and a future beyond anything you could imagine. Chosen one, unanswered prayers are often God's way of building endurance in your spirit. Just as an athlete strengthens their body through resistance, so too does God allow resistance in your spiritual life to build resilience and steadfastness. James chapter 1 verses 2 to 4 encourages us, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." Through perseverance, God is teaching you to hold fast, to remain firm in the face of obstacles, and to grow in spiritual maturity. This steadfastness, born from seasons of unanswered prayers, prepares you to face greater challenges and to carry the weight of the calling he has placed on your life. It is through these moments that you learn to depend fully on God, to find strength in his presence, and to walk in faith even when the answers are delayed. As you persevere, remember that this endurance is not in vain. Each day that you hold on, each prayer that you lift up in faith, each moment that you trust in God's timing brings you closer to the fulfillment of his promises. God is building within you a character that reflects his own faithfulness. Persevere, beloved, for your endurance will yield a harvest of righteousness. Beloved, there is a sacred language spoken in the silence of unanswered prayers, the language of faith. Faith does not demand explanations. It trusts in the goodness and sovereignty of God. Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1 tells us, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." When God remains silent, he is teaching you to rely not on the visible, but on his unseen and eternal truths. Faith says, "Even though I do not see, I believe." Faith looks beyond the immediate, the tangible, and the understandable, placing trust fully in God's character and promises. This language of faith is a precious gift, for it draws you into a deeper intimacy with God. It is in the quiet, in the absence of immediate answers, that faith is nurtured and strengthened. Chosen one, let this season of silence teach you the language of faith. Speak it boldly, believe it wholeheartedly, and allow it to transform the way you view your prayers. For faith is the key that unlocks the mysteries of God's heart, drawing you closer to his divine purposes. In learning this language, you are stepping into a profound trust that will sustain you through every trial and silence. In God's wisdom, unanswered prayers are often the hidden miracles we cannot yet see. We may pray for one thing, yet God, in his love, gives us something entirely different, something that aligns perfectly with his eternal plan. Ephesians chapter 3 verse 20 tells us, "Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us." Sometimes, the miracle is not the answer we hoped for, but the strength we gain, the peace we find, and the deeper understanding of God's grace that comes through the waiting. These hidden miracles are God's way of giving us more than we could have dreamed, of blessing us in ways that we might not recognize until later. Chosen one, open your eyes to the miracles hidden within the silence, the miracles that are shaping you, healing you, and drawing you closer to God's heart. Each moment of waiting, each unanswered prayer, is filled with God's loving hand, working in ways that surpass all understanding. Chosen one, unanswered prayers remind us of a profound truth: that God is sovereign and His plans are perfect. His ways are higher than our ways, His thoughts beyond our own. When prayers go unanswered, it is a call to surrender our limited understanding and to trust in the boundless wisdom of our Creator. God's sovereignty assures us that, even when we do not understand His plans, we can trust in His goodness. He sees the end from the beginning, and His purposes are always for our ultimate good and His glory. Unanswered prayers become a way for us to release our desires into His capable hands, to let go of our need for control, and to rest in the assurance that He is working all things for our good. In this surrender, you find peace, a peace that surpasses all understanding, knowing that God holds your life, your prayers, and your future securely in His hands. Embrace His sovereignty, chosen one, and let it be the foundation of your trust, even when answers are delayed. Beloved, know that unanswered prayers are often a matter of timing. God's timing is flawless, and He answers in the moment that will bring about the greatest blessing. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 11 reminds us, He has made everything beautiful in its time. Trusting in God's timing means believing that He knows when to open doors and when to keep them closed, when to bless and when to withhold. In His perfect timing, God orchestrates events in your life in ways that align with His eternal purposes. What may seem like a delay to you is, in truth, God's careful preparation. He is setting things in motion, aligning circumstances, and preparing your heart to receive His answers. Wait patiently, chosen one, for God's timing is never too early or too late. In the fullness of His time, He will fulfill His promises to you, and you will see His hand at work in ways that exceed all expectation. Chosen one, unanswered prayers are a sacred invitation to worship God, not for His gifts, but for who He is. Worship that arises from a place of silence, from a heart that does not receive but still praises, is a profound act of devotion. Psalm chapter 63 verse 3 declares, "Because your love is better than life, my lips will glorify you." In seasons of unanswered prayers, worship becomes an offering, a sacrifice of praise given freely, without expectation. It is a declaration that your love for God is not contingent upon His answers, but is rooted in His nature, His goodness, and His unfailing love. When you worship in the silence, you affirm that God is enough, that His presence is sufficient, and that His love is your ultimate treasure. Embrace this invitation, chosen one, for it will deepen your love for God and draw you into a place of intimacy that transcends circumstances. In worshiping without answers, you discover the joy of loving God for Himself alone. Finally, unanswered prayers are an invitation to hope, hope that transcends earthly desires and places its trust in the eternal promises of God. Romans chapter 5 verses 3-5 reminds us, "Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope. And hope does not put us to shame, because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit, who has been given to us." Hope is not merely wishful thinking. It is a confident expectation that God's plans are good, that His love endures, and that His promises are true. Unanswered prayers lead us to place our hope not in the outcomes we desire, but in the eternal faithfulness of our Father. This hope anchors our souls, sustaining us in every season, every trial, and every silence. In the end, chosen one, know that unanswered prayers are not a denial but a divine strategy, a means by which God draws you closer to His heart, strengthens your faith, and prepares you for greater glory. Let your hope be rooted in His promises, for in Him all things find their fulfillment. Chosen one, unanswered prayers are not just a test of faith, they are an unveiling of God's heart. In those moments when we wait, wondering why the heavens seem silent, God is drawing us closer to Himself, inviting us to see Him more clearly, to understand His nature more deeply. In Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 13, the Lord promises, "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." It is in the waiting, in the quiet moments of prayer, that we come face to face with God's unchanging character. Unanswered prayers become an opportunity to experience the depth of God's compassion, His grace, and His love. When answers are delayed, we find ourselves seeking not the gifts, but the giver. This seeking refines our desires, moving them from the temporary to the eternal, from the superficial to the profound. In the process, God reveals his heart to us, showing that his greatest desire is for us to be in communion with him, to rest in his presence, and to find our deepest joy in his love. Chosen one, unanswered prayers often awaken within us fears. Fear of the unknown, fear of unfulfilled desires, fear that God has somehow forgotten. But in his loving wisdom, God uses these moments to call us away from fear and into a life of radical trust. Psalm chapter 56, verse 3 declares, "When I am afraid, I put my trust in you." God does not want us to live in the shadow of fear, but in the light of his faithfulness. When prayers go unanswered, God is gently calling you to let go of the fears that grip your heart. Each unanswered prayer is an invitation to trust him more deeply, to rest in his promises, and to stand on the truth that he is in control. In learning to abandon fear, you are stepping into a faith that is bold, unshakable, and confident in the goodness of God. Trust, chosen one, is the antidote to fear, and through unanswered prayers, God is perfecting this trust within you. There is a profound transformation that takes place when you surrender to God in the midst of unanswered prayers. Surrender is not giving up on hope, it is giving over control, releasing the need to understand, and allowing God to have his way. Proverbs chapter 3 verses 5 to 6 remind us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." Through surrender, God shapes your character, teaching you to live not by sight, but by faith. This act of surrender refines your desires, aligning them with God's own will, and molding you into his likeness. When you release your prayers into God's hands, you are acknowledging his sovereignty and his wisdom, choosing to trust in his perfect plan over your own understanding. Chosen one, let the unanswered prayers be a moment of surrender, a holy exchange where you lay down your will and embrace God's. In this surrender, you find true freedom, a freedom that comes from knowing your life is held securely in the hands of your Creator. Beloved, unanswered prayers are not just about the present moment, they are about the legacy of faith you are building. Hebrews chapter 11 is a testament to men and women who, despite not receiving the promises in their lifetime, held firm to their faith, creating a legacy that echoes through eternity. Hebrews chapter 11 verse 13 says, "All these people were still living by faith when they died. They did not receive the things promised, they only saw them and welcomed them from a distance." Each unanswered prayer becomes a testament to your faithfulness and to God's enduring love. As you persevere, you are building a legacy for those who will come after you, a legacy that speaks of trust, of resilience, and of unwavering belief in the goodness of God. Your journey becomes a source of inspiration for others, a beacon of hope for those who also face seasons of waiting. Chosen one, know that your faith in times of silence is a light to others, a legacy that will inspire future generations to seek God, to trust him, and to hold fast to his promises. In our human nature, we often view unanswered prayers through the lens of the immediate, the here and now. But God operates from an eternal perspective, seeing not only our present needs, but also our ultimate destiny. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 18 reminds us, "So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen, since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal." God's plan for you stretches beyond the temporary desires of this life and reaches into eternity. Each unanswered prayer, each moment of waiting, is part of a divine tapestry that God is weaving with infinite wisdom. In trusting him, you are aligning your heart with this eternal perspective, finding peace in the knowledge that God's timing and answers are perfect, even when they differ from your own expectations. Chosen one, lift your eyes from the temporal to the eternal, from the fleeting desires of this world to the everlasting promises of God. Trust that each moment of waiting is a step on the path to the eternal glory he has prepared for you. Beloved, unanswered prayers are not a punishment. They are a training ground, a place where God hones your spirit, strengthens your faith, and prepares you for greater works in his kingdom. Philippians chapter 1 verse 6 encourages us, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. In this spiritual training ground, God teaches you patience, humility, and dependence on Him. He shapes your character, preparing you for the blessings and responsibilities that come with being His chosen one. Each unanswered prayer is an opportunity to grow, to deepen in wisdom, and to become more like Christ. God does not withhold answers to harm you, but to prepare you, knowing that spiritual maturity is the foundation upon which His divine purposes will be fulfilled in your life. Embrace this training, chosen one, for it is God's way of equipping you, of refining you, and of preparing you to walk fully in the calling He has placed upon your life. Chosen one, there is a joy that surpasses the fulfillment of any earthly desire, a joy found solely in the presence of God. Psalm chapter 16 verse 11 declares, "You make known to me the path of life. You will fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures at your right hand." When prayers remain unanswered, God is inviting you to find joy not in the gifts, but in the giver Himself. In choosing to delight in God's presence, you discover a joy that is unshaken by circumstances, a joy that is rooted in the eternal love and faithfulness of your Creator. This joy transforms your waiting, turning seasons of unanswered prayers into moments of deep, abiding contentment. Chosen one, seek God not for what He can give, but for who He is. In His presence you will find the fullness of joy, a joy that satisfies the deepest longings of your heart. Ultimately, chosen one, unanswered prayers call you to the final act of faith, trusting completely in God's sovereign will. This is the highest form of faith, the place where you say, "Not my will, but yours be done." In surrendering to His will, you are affirming your belief in God's goodness, His wisdom, and His perfect plan for your life. This act of faith is a declaration of trust, a bold statement that, regardless of the outcome, you believe in God's love for you and His desire for your ultimate good. It is here, in the place of total surrender, that you experience the fullness of God's peace, knowing that your life rests securely in His hands. Chosen one, let this be your response to unanswered prayers, a deep and abiding trust in God's sovereign will. For in His hands, every desire, every prayer, and every hope finds its perfect fulfillment, according to His divine purpose. As we conclude this journey together, dear chosen ones, let us hold fast to the profound truth that unanswered prayers are not a reflection of God's absence or indifference, but rather an invitation to experience His presence in deeper ways. In our moments of silence, He draws us into a relationship that transcends the immediate and embraces the eternal. Remember that each time you feel the weight of unanswered prayers, God is shaping your character, deepening your faith, and inviting you to trust Him more fully. Your cries are heard, your tears are counted, and your heart is known by the one who loves you unconditionally. Let this understanding empower you to seek Him with renewed passion, knowing that He has chosen you for a purpose greater than your understanding. In your waiting, find peace in His timing and joy in His presence, for it is here that your true fulfillment lies. Embrace the journey, trust His heart, and rest in the beautiful assurance that He is always with you, guiding you toward the abundant life He has